Hello, welcome to Meta Perfume. I am Emily, and today I am going to go through my entire winter fragrance collection. I think this is a potentially a long video, but I'm going to try to keep it to a reasonable length and kind of go through quickly. In that spirit, I'm not going to go detail about notes. I'm just going to kind of breeze through everything. I might pop a couple note blocks up in this area as I'm going through, but I'm going to start with kind of go from my least favorite to my most favorite and try to get through them pretty quickly because I am just about to head out on a solo vacation to Las Vegas. So I should have left like 2 hours ago, but everything always takes so much longer than I think. And then I've had in my head that I want to film this forever, so I'm just gonna do it because if I don't, then I'll probably just be thinking about it. So anyway, let's get into it. Winter 2023 fragrance collection. So I'm starting with my least favorite to my most favorite. These two Fifth Avenue flankers, Fifth Avenue Royale and Fifth Avenue NYC Live. Are kind of at the bottom of my list. I do think they're pretty decent fragrances. Like, I would not feel bad gifting these to somebody who lived in like a cooler climate where they had a real winter, unlike in Los Angeles where our winter feels like a Michigan spring or early fall. Michigan's where I'm from. But these two, this is kind of a leathery fragrance. It's a little spicy. I'm not a huge fan of leather, which is why this is kind of low on the list. This one actually also has a sort of like maybe suede-ish vibe. I don't think there's suede in it, but to me that's kind of what it reminds me of. This is a nice fragrance. It's interesting. I do spray just a tiny bit of each of these on, and I will wear them from time to time. But yeah, so Elizabeth Arden's Fifth Avenue flankers are one. And this is a celebrity scent. Now these, when I say my winter fragrance collection, these are fragrances that I feel like are like gonna get the most use and the best, like show up the best in winter time because of the temperature being cold and them being strong. And I'm probably gonna be more apt to use them in the cooler months, so I call them my winter fragrances. And I was like grabbing all of the fragrances from my collection that I would consider kind of winter fragrances, and I kept adding a few, and there are some here that are definitely like potentially all year round or maybe like all year except for the summer fragrances, but then I'll note that. But generally these are the ones where I'm like, it's winter time, I should use these. This one is the original Rihanna's Rebel Fleur is the black one in the black bottle, and this is, I think, just Rebel, Rihanna Rebel, and this one was released first, and that Rebel Fleur in the black bottle was much more popular and is a little more sexy and maybe more mass appealing, definitely kind of overshadowed the Rebel. This is a gourmand fragrance that's sort of like, to me, I kind of get a gingerbread vibe from it. It definitely has a little patchouli. I'm trying to use it up, but I might end up giving this to my little niece because when she came over the other day, they were going through my winter fragrance collections and kind of spraying them, and she liked this one. And it's a small bottle. It's a nice fragrance. It's not bad. I'll put the notes up here real quick so you can see what's in it. Yeah, it's tasty, gourmandy, but like spicy, cozy, just a slight hint of patchouli. Lasts pretty well. Rebel by Rihanna. All right, I gotta pick up the pace. Next I have a Hermes. This is the L'Ombre des Merveilles, and I got this because I was doing like a series on Hermes. And I have a couple more of these, but this is honestly probably my least favorite of the Merveille set that I have, but it is the most wintry for sure. It's the amber heavy fragrance. And for me, amber is kind of a note that I generally struggle to like. So for me, this might be a re-gift at some point, because I don't think, as large as this is, I don't think I'll be able to get through the whole thing as well. So, but you know, it's not a bad fragrance. Mila LeBlanc, another fragrance reviewer, really likes this one. She lives in a cooler climate and so that's why I got it, because she was raving about it, but it's not really that awesome for me. It's a little more masculine than I like, and definitely more ambery than I'm into. All right, so next is one that I almost never wear, but it is the original Pink Sugar, and I got this because Kathleen Lights, when I was very first collecting fragrances, this was one of her faves, and I think it's a really interesting fragrance. Got a little licorice note, definitely like a sugary cotton candy prominence. I like it. I don't know if other people like it on me. I've worn it a couple times where I'm like, I can really smell this, and nobody says anything, so I'm like, do they not like it? That'll make me a little self-conscious about wearing it, but sometimes I'll throw it on. I'm kind of looking for something to pair it with, maybe, because it is so sweet. But that's Pink Sugar by, who's it by? Aqua something. It's the Eau de Toilette. Aquilina? I think so. Pink Sugar. Next I have a niche fragrance. This is the La Danza de la Loulou by Noil 1942. And this one is an incredibly strong gourmand fragrance. But it's yummy. It smells like bakery. It smells like apple, coconut, baked goods, pastry. It is so strong. Like, I will spray one spray from over here and like walk into it, and then I'm good for 8 hours. It is so strong. So this is one I probably have for my whole life. It has this beautiful bottle, and yeah, that is La Danza de la Loulou. Super yummy pastry, apple, coconut vibes. Next, I have one that Demi Rollins turned me on to, big favorite of hers. This is the, oh my god, I sometimes do forget the name of this. You guys probably all know it. This is Lancome's, oh my gosh, this happened to me last time I looked at this one too, I think. All right, I'm gonna put the name up here because I'm blanking on it. This is bad. It's reminds me of an enchanted forest. It is definitely very wintry, very strong. It's yummy, but it's definitely kind of like a special occasion. If it snows, I think about wearing this. If it gets very cold, it is also another very strong fragrance. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember the name, but it's okay. It'll probably come back to me as soon as I move on. This guy. And then next I have like a mini of Jasmine Noir by Bulgari, which is a nice jasmine scent. My good friend Lee turned me onto this one. And this reminds me of the winter time. It's a nice jasmine that's not super jasmine-y. It's kind of got a well-rounded mix of notes. I'll put them up here for a minute so you can see what's in it. And then next I have the Poison Girl by Dior EDP. And everybody says, or not everybody, but most reviewers prefer the EDT, and I haven't smelled it, and so I'm always like, oh, maybe I should have the EDT. I have FOMO about that, but this is a nice fragrance. It's just very, it's very like rich. It's very almondy, vanilla-y. It's super dark in color. I think it's nice. I think it's just a little heavy, so I sometimes try to like figure out things to layer with this. So, but it's a good almond, vanilla, light fragrance, or not light, but I guess I'm contradicting myself. It's heavy, but it's not like overwhelming. It just feels like very rich, like I'm smothered in like a very sweet almond thing. Poison Girl by Dior. So next I have one of my early favorites, a daytime favorite, and one of the reasons this is rated so highly for me, and I've used a lot of it, is because I use this specifically on days in the winter. So this is like my go-to winter daytime fragrance. It's also a fragrance that nobody ever talks about on YouTube, which kind of like, I like that because I found this by going to a perfume shop in Sherman Oaks and getting a bunch of samples and then liking the sample a lot and then buying the larger bottle. And it's not an expensive fragrance, but it is Adrian Vitalini's Capri, and it's got a really interesting set of notes. It's got, to me, it has like a little bit of black licorice scent. I'm not sure if that's in here, might not be. There's like fern, I think. Here, I'll put the notes up here. But yeah, this is a nice one. I really like this. And Adrian Vitalini Capri is highly underrated on the YouTubes. So next I have another that Milo LeBlanc turned me onto, which is Kashmir by Chopard. Kashmir has got like a fruity, gourmandy, vanilla, apricot pie kind of smell. It's a little bit powdery, kind of light. Yeah, Milo LeBlanc turned me onto this. It is yummy. I'll put the notes up here briefly. You can see what's in them. But this is another nice, cozy, winter, sweet, gourmand fragrance that I enjoy. Next, I have this Valentino fragrance that I got at like a shop. I think this is discontinued, Rock and Rose Couture. My little niece liked this one too because she's like 8, but she's into goth things. She's like, this looks very goth. And this is a fragrance that is very interesting. It's got some, I think, cassis in it, rose. It doesn't smell very good on my skin, but on my clothes, I think it smells nice. It's well received. Rock and Rose Couture by Valentino. Another good one for cold weather. So the strength. Okay, now I'm getting into, excuse me, Fancy, another celebrity fragrance by Jessica Simpson. This one is also caramely, gourmand, super sweet. It's nice, it's lovely. My 8-year-old niece really liked this one too. Fancy. I just think it's it is heavy for warm weather. It's not too crazy, but I think this would be a good date night fragrance. But I'm more prone to pulling it out when it's cold. So Fancy by Jessica Simpson. Next, I have the Armani C, the original Armani C. And I've really slowed down on wearing this one, but it is a classic. This is another Kathleen Lights inspired purchase. I think it's got cassis in his main. Cassis, I think. Yeah, I'll put the notes up here. So that's Giorgio Armani C, original, EDP, I think. It's a good one. And this is a classic again, Jimmy Choo. Is it Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo? It might be. Yeah. This is got toffee heavy, and it's a very sweet, gourmandy, patchouli. Yummy. I definitely get the patchouli in this, but it is another good. I would wear this in fall and winter. But it is strong enough that I think it's the best in winter, and it's cool. So Jimmy Choo. And next I have Yes I Am by Cerel, and I put a bunch of these flankers of this one in my cart on FragranceNet, and I'm resisting the urge to buy them for a while, but I mean, I've definitely kind of got it in my sights to get a bunch of these flankers because I had one. This is a really like complex benzoin and sweet notes, like sexy, interesting. I really like benzoin. It makes things kind of medicinal smelling, but in a nice, like addictive way. Kind of reminds me of when you're a kid and you smell like the markers that smell good. Doesn't smell like that, but it's got that same sort of like, this is cracking up, huffing markers. That's benzoin to me, and I like it. So Yes I Am by Cerel, cute little bottle. Might get some flankers of this and review them all. We'll see. Let me know if you would like that. Also, this is a Britney Spears fragrance, one of my favorites from her, Hidden Fantasy. It's got fantasy with an orange kind of dominance, and I really love orange, love citruses. This is cozy. I get compliments on this when I wear it. It's kind of like a spicy, cozy orange version of fantasy, and I prefer it definitely highly more than the original fantasy cupcakey version. But this one I think is a little more sexy, in my opinion. And then I've got another kind of benzoin heavy fragrance that sort of reminds me, I mean, if anything, it's closest to that Cerel Yes I Am fragrance I just pulled up. This is the Madonna Truth or Dare. I think this is discontinued, unfortunately, but it is a nice kind of sexy. I think there's patchouli in it too, and benzoin for sure. I definitely get the benzoin. That is, I'll put the notes up here. Probably a little hard to find though. This is Madonna's Truth or Dare, I think it's called. Celebrity fragrance. Now, this is the original Lancome's Noir. Oh my gosh. My memory. All right, I'm just gonna put the name up here because like I'm on the spot and I can't remember things I should remember. That's not coming to me. But yeah, this one is clubbing. It reminds me of going to the club, going out. I think it smells really lovely, but it projects nicely. It's got strength, definitely some patchouli and fruits and flowers. That is, I can't believe I can't remember the names of these things. Okay, yes, put the name up here. Next I have the Organza in Desense, another probably discontinued one that isn't very easy to find. I get people asking in the comments where to get this, and I would say your best bet's probably the Bulgari site for like a used-ish version, or on eBay. Maybe someone is selling it. So this is a wintry cinnamony fragrance, cinnamon vanilla, kind of cozy, pretty good projection and decent longevity, like 5-6 hours on this one. So that's nice. I also like to layer it with another favorite new fragrance of mine. I've been trying this combination of the Good Girl Blush by Carolina Herrera over top of the Organza Indecence, and it is delicious. So I'll cover this one too. So Organza Indecence, I consider this an all year round fragrance, but because it's pretty new to my collection and I really like it, and I think it does well in the winter, and it's just a beautiful vanilla scent. This is in my winter rotation for sure, the Good Girl Blush by Carolina Herrera. Lovely. And then my last few, these are in the top like 10 because I'm going through them now. I've saved the best for last. This is an Armani niche fragrance from Armani niche line. It's my favorite one, called Ruby Red, or Red Ruby. And it's got like a, I think it was imitating like a Dolce & Gabbana, the one or something. I like it better than that one though. The powderiness in here, it smells to me like powdered Fruit Loops, but it's yummy. It's one of those like powdery ones that I find really comforting. I'm not the hugest fan of powdery scents usually, but sometimes with the right mix of notes, I think it's really nice. And this is one of them. Red Ruby by Armani. Definitely a favorite. Okay, now we're down to the top ones. Okay, so this is one. This is kind of a polarizing fragrance. This is JLo Still, and I wouldn't consider this a strictly winter fragrance, but I wear it a lot, especially at night, like before bed. I'll spray this, and I adore this fragrance. I heard recently somebody say that, like, it is, some people have an aversion to it for some reason. Other people really love it. I am in the love it category. I think it's got an Earl Grey note, and I really like tea, but it's like an interesting take on that. And then like a rice note, maybe. I'll put the notes up here. JLo Still, definitely a favorite all year round, but definitely this winter. You can see I'm getting through that one. And let's go with this one. So the Tal Intense by Agent Provocateur is another interesting and also kind of cozy, spicy-ish. I'll put the notes up here. It's a very interesting set of notes. I don't have anything that smells like this. I think it's sexy, unique, yeah, and inexpensive. Yeah, Agent Provocateur for Tal Intense, another winter favorite. Yum, yum. All right, I have the last 5. Down to the final 5. I'll go quickly. All right, so this Britney is my favorite Britney Spears fragrance. This is Electric Fantasy. And the thing about it is that it has, I'll put the notes up here, but there's a pink pepper note in that makes it like a totally different fantasy than all the other fantasies. It's very unique to the fantasy collection, but it's also got kind of a lightness to it. I just love this. I love it. And I honestly think you could wear this probably all year round, even in the summer with a light application. But I think it would do well in the cold weather too. So Electric Fantasy by Britney Spears, another winter one. And another Armani Club de Nuit Intense. The Intense, this has got, to me, it's got like chocolatey vibes. Chocolatey rose. I think there's sandalwood in here. Oh yeah, it's nice. And I forget how nice this is, and I spray it on. I'm like, yeah, this is a really good fragrance. I really like this one. Yeah, it's, I don't know, the chocolatiness of it. I don't even know if there's, I think there is cacao in it. I'll put the notes up here. With the rose, it's very complex. I think there's a lot going on in it, but it's just well balanced. It's really well blended. It's really interesting and unique. Yes, happy making. So one of my favorites, Club de Nuit Intense by Armani. And the last 3 I have, all right, third from the top. This is pretty new to my collection. You may have seen me unboxing this and then announcing a giveaway that I'm having this year for Blanche Bet. If you want, I'll link that in the description. The video where I announced that giveaway, give you more details. If you subscribe and leave a comment that you're subscribed before the end of 2023, you'll be entered in a giveaway of that Blanche Bet full size, still wrapped. So please subscribe. That would be awesome. And this is a wonderful, definitely could use this all year round though. I'm not gonna say this is strictly winter, but I am for sure using it this winter because it's new. A full size bottle is new to me. It's delicious and lovely, beautiful, interesting. I'll link the review of that, like I said. And yeah, that is Ling Gold by M. Micallef. Beautiful, beauteous. All right, and my final 2 winter fragrances are, drum roll. I'll start with this one, as this is kind of my go-to. Anytime I don't know what to reach for, I reach for this. I've got down to like here in it. I know it's hard to see how much is left in this bottle. I hold it up to the light. It's got a lot of vanilla in it, but it's like a powdery vanilla. This used to, when I first got it, remind me of the smell of the powder on the inside of a Bazooka bubble gum, like when you were a kid and they had those little comics. The powder that was on that is what this would smell like to me. But over time, it's changed a little bit, so it doesn't quite smell as much like that anymore, but it's like a sandalwood, vanilla. I'll put the notes up here. Secret Genius by Penrose is what I am smelling. And yeah, definitely a go-to. I spray this. I like layer this with other things. I'm kind of just trying to get through it because I know it's turning a little. I mean, it's not turning, like it smells good still, but because of all the vanilla in there, it's getting darker. So I worry about the shelf life of it. But Secret Genius by Penrose, definitely a favorite of mine. I got this at Sephora after getting like one of those Sephora samplers that had a bunch of different ones you could test, and then you get a full size of whichever one you decide you like the best, and this was the one I liked the best. So Secret Genius by Penrose, huge thumbs up. And I guess this is my favorite winter fragrance of all time still. This is the Hermes Italiano Donna, the original Italiano Donna by Hermes. And it's got like an orange and tonka and sandalwood. So intoxicating. Yeah, this is, I would wear this more like if I had to get rid of all of my fragrances and only keep a few, this would be one I would keep for sure. Gets compliments, it's beautiful. Italiano Donna by Hermes. So there's my winter fragrance collection. Everything. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't. That would be fantastic. And like this video if you liked it. I will see you in my next video. Wish me luck on my vacation to Vegas. Hope to win big. Take care. Bye-bye.